righty, now we're back to part 2 of our top 10 oils that every home should have. We're going to talk about there's 4 oils that we're going to talk in this segment that are our foundational oils. And I'm not sure about yourself, but Corey and I have noticed in the last few months a lot of feed coming through of people posting up that they caught the flu or they're really sick and they're going to the doctor, their family's going to the doctor. It's lasting 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks and they still can't get any better. So, you know, what's wonderful is we have this protective blend that doTERRA has. It's called On Guard. And this one helps to protect your immune system during those times. And, you know, applying it before the flu season begins and continue throughout and a little bit afterwards, you know, really helps protect you and your family. And so the best way, or how we've been using it, is that on our children and ourselves, we apply it on the bottom of our feet once a day in the morning and the back of our neck. And then we repeat the same thing at nighttime before we go to bed. Corey was taking a mixture of the oils that we're talking about this segment back in October. And he was going into a lot of people's homes back then for the business that he was doing. And when our family went to California back in November, each one of us got sick, even though it only lasted like 24, 48 hours. Corey was the only one that didn't catch anything. And we really believe it's because he was building up his immune system with these oils that he was ingesting daily for about a month before we all got sick. Yeah. So in 2009, you know, when that H1N1 first came out, PubMed did a study on Guard, and the link that I have on this slide, I'll actually put it up on the group, and you can review it. It shows how it killed it by 90%. So On Guard is a product that I believe every home should have. Everybody should be taking it. For little kids, you know, sometimes they don't want to ingest it in water or take a drop in their mouth. Yeah. Some can't even swallow pills yet. So a great way to get it into their system is that you can cut up an apple, like 1 full apple, submerge it with water, and then you can add like 2 or 3 drops to that little bowl of apple water and let it sit for about 15 minutes. And then they can snack on that, or you can pack it with you or with them to take to work or to school so they can eat it throughout the day.
Which is a great little snack.
Yeah. And the other way that we always get people asking us, oh, my child is under 2 or a year old. How can I get On Guard into them, you know, inside of them? And we always tell them.
We always like to you take applesauce or apple juice and you can mix it in that way and they won't even know what's there. It just makes it taste a little more like cinnamon.
Yeah. Most of them say it tastes like apple pie. So it's just another great way to get On Guard in there too. And then the last thing I want to tell you is that diffusing On Guard is really helpful. Getting those properties into the air and killing those germs that people bring in or even you're passing around to one another. This is a great way to stop it in its tracks. So On Guard, that's the product that we just talked about, and we'll move on to the next. All right, well, you know, we decided we needed to talk a little bit more about On Guard before we moved on to our next oil. And the reason why is On Guard is our biggest product line with doTERRA. And the reason why?
So we want to make sure that we're getting as much On Guard in our system as often as possible.
So having it in the home, when you're using it, we have a concentrated soap that you can purchase and use it as a foam soap throughout all your bathrooms. So it's a great way to protect yourself that way.
Laundry detergent.
Yes, great way to use that.
My favorite, toothpaste. So the toothpaste is really nice because it does give it a little cinnamony taste, but it also has a little peppermint in there too.
Yeah, and then we also have the beadlets. And people don't really know what that is, but they're like mouth fresheners, you know. And every drop is like a half a drop of the oil itself. So you just pop a little one in your mouth, and you just pop it with your teeth, and get it out, and you have this burst, and it's pretty warm. I'll let you know, it's a warm little guy. Yeah. But my son Xander can gobble that up if I let him, so we're always limiting him so many per day.
And then my other favorite is our On Guard cough drops.
Yeah, the throat cough drops.
They taste a little like a Fire Jolly Rancher, but they really have a good taste to them. They're just real cinnamony.
Yeah, so the best way to really protect yourself, not only taking the oils in, but also having the On Guard products throughout your own home too. Alrighty, before we move on to the next two oils, we wanted to go over how effective are essential oils. And did you know that they can kill viruses, yeast, parasites, bacteria? I mean, these are main things people need to concentrate on, because that, I'm not sure if you understand where your immune system is. Your immune system is your gut. And if you're not protecting your gut thoroughly, then you're prone to getting sick. So diet is very important. But using oils can even help with that. So, when you go to the doctor and you have a bacterial infection or some kind of infection going on, the doctor will prescribe you an antibiotic. And you go home and you take that, and every time you go back for something like that, they give you another antibiotic. And sometimes some people over time will develop a resistance to antibiotics, even higher and more stronger antibiotics. And so they end up not having something to really help them. And then they have viruses. We have viruses. That's like when you get a cold or the flu or, something like that. You go to the doctor, and what does the doctor tell you? They tell you, I'm sorry, but the best thing that we can suggest for you is to go home, get rest, drink water, and just, weigh it out. Hopefully it will go away.
Let it run its course.
Let it run its course. And, sometimes they'll even subscribe you that, what is that?
Tamiflu.
Yeah, and you want to tell them a little about that?
Yeah, Tamiflu. So for $120, it'll take off 23 hours of the flu. And typically people who get the flu are sick for 2 weeks, so an extra day I don't think is really worth $120.
Right, exactly. So I'm going to show you the short 2-minute video, and basically it's going to show you how these two simple oils can kill bacterial and viral issues.
Bacteria have the ability to change their genetic makeup over time for their own self-preservation. Bacteria have their own defensive mechanism. They produce something called a peptidoglycan layer. It's the equivalent of an M&M shell that's protecting the chocolate on the inside. Now, one of the other elements that bacteria are very, very good at making, and that is something called a biofilm. Biofilm is its own very goopy, slimy mess that it covers itself in. So what's now starting to happen is we are finding that once very useful antibacterial medications are no longer effective at all. What that means for us, we have to use stronger antibacterial medications. We have to use more potent antibacterial medications. That comes at a cost to our own bodies. Melaleuca has the ability to come in and start to modify that sludge and remove it so that the oregano can get to the bacteria. And in oregano, there's a product called carvacrol. Carvacrol will bind to that peptidoglycan, and it punctures a little hole in there. Once that hole opens, you start to get a passing of ions back and forth. What that does to the bacteria is it allows it to lyse. It means burst open. And we've now accomplished something very dramatic, and that is by doing nothing more than using 2 simple little plant-based essential oils, you have created a very effective antibacterial solution.
So how incredible was that video that we just watched?
That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, these 2 little oils right here are amazing. So let's start off with Melaleuca.
Yep.
And Melaleuca obviously is antibacterial, anti-infectional, antiviral. But people kind of forget about melaleuca. And first off, I want to let you know what melaleuca is. Melaleuca is the real name for tea tree oil. But it also helps for yeast issues. When people have yeast issues, melaleuca is a great oil to start off with to attack that problem.
Yeah, like nail fungus, athlete's foot, internal yeast, it can really take care of a lot of those issues.
Yeah, skin problems like psoriasis, dermatitis.
Dandruff.
Yes, eczema. Anything that has some kind of fungal or there's some autoimmune issue causing it if diet really isn't improving. Because, we always going to talk about the foundation of diet and sleeping and exercising. Remember that a couple days ago. But melaleuca, I love it. You can put this in your shampoo and use it for if you have dandruff issues. Great for dogs. If you have a dog, that gets fleas or has dry spots or is itchy, you can make up, you can actually just rub it on or spray it in a spray bottle with some water, and you can dilute it a little bit if you needed to. You don't really need to with melaleuca. It's not a very hot oil at all. Ear infections. Melaleuca and oregano. You put it on a cotton ball because you never want to put oils directly into your ear. Put 1 drop each on a cotton ball and stick it inside your child's ear or your ear and just let them sit that way. Zeppelin, my littlest guy has never taken, he is almost 5 years old and has never been on an antibiotic ever. And he did start trying to get an ear infection. He woke up at 3 in the morning, was screaming, his ear was red, he was grabbing to it on it, and that's exactly what I did. Is I put these 2 oils on a cotton ball, stuck it in there. Actually, I rubbed some basil on the backside of his ear, but within minutes he stopped crying and went right back to sleep.
And never had a problem with it again. It was gone.
It was completely gone. Okay, and so now we have oregano. Oregano is a very hot oil, people. So, I'm just forewarning you before you just apply it on the skin. That's why it's good to apply it on the bottom of the feet because it doesn't affect you or burn down there.
But it can't feel like it's burning your skin just touching.
Yeah, and here's one example. Did you know that oregano will help with skin tags?
That is amazing.
Yeah, and we have some people on our team or clients that have used it, and the skin tags fall off in like 4 days, and there's people that's been 3 weeks. It depends on how many times you apply it.
The size.
And the size of it determines, how long it's going to take to come off. But how to apply it? You can apply it on a Q-tip. Just rub it right on, or from your finger and rub it right on there. I tell people try to do it right after they take a shower. And then after applying it, wait a couple minutes and then add lavender. So the lavender will soothe the skin underneath.
So another thing with oregano is really nice. It does work on warts. So if you're having wart issues, you can use oregano and melaleuca together and just rub it topically right on over the top of it. You can also add oregano for pain relief too, which is, we have a lot of oils that do pain relief, and this is another one that works well with it.
And right now during the flu and cold season, people are telling me I'm getting that itchiness in the back of my throat. I got a cough or sore throat. Oregano is wonderful for that. And you can put it in water and just gargle with it. Now, it is a warm oil, but it's not going to burn you or anything. Your lip might get a little tingly, but it'll go away in a couple minutes. You can add On Guard or peppermint just to help mask the taste of it. But I do On Guard any time that I feel something coming on.
And if we have any cooks who are listening, you can use oregano oil in your spaghetti sauce. And how do you do that?
Well, I wouldn't put a full drop right into your spaghetti sauce because oregano is a very strong smelling and tasting oil. So just rub the toothpick right on top of the oil bottle, and then you can stir it right into your spaghetti sauce if that's what you're making, and then test it. And then if you need a little bit more, that's how you add it in. So anyways, there's oregano and melaleuca. All right, now we're on to our last oil of this segment, frankincense. Frankincense is the king of all oils, and why is that? Because back in biblical times, they gave frankincense to the Christ child, which was just as powerful as gold. Yep. So frankincense is, when I'm talking in my class, and I'm always going, what is the main cause of ailments that we deal with? What's causing that? And everybody just kind of looks at me, and it's inflammation. frankincense helps with decreasing of inflammation.
Anywhere in the body.
Anywhere on the body. No matter where you place it on your body, it will help. It knows where to go in your body to help with inflammation.
Exactly.
The other great property of frankincense is also for brain injury, anything neurological. Yep. It is great for that. So we use this all the time. You know, I use it on the back of our neck. That's the best way to use it, and up into the brain stem. Before I go any further, Corey, why don't you tell everybody where frankincense comes from?
So we get it from a couple different places. On the slide, it does say it comes from Oman, and we have been getting it also from Somalia. It just grows in that Middle Eastern region. It's a tree, and actually what they're doing is artisans of that area are extracting the sap from that tree. And you see in the top right corner those rocks that look like golden rock eggs. That's just resin that comes from inside the tree, and then we distill that, and that's what creates the frankincense oil.
Oh, is it kind of like sap?
Yeah, well, it is sap, but it takes about 3 weeks to harvest.
Oh, okay. So anyways, with frankincense, you know, when I first smelt it, I did not like the smell of it at all. And I learned to find out that, you know, typically when you're smelling oils, it's not that you don't like the smell, but it's triggering emotions that you haven't dealt with. And so by using that oil more often, you help your body to get over those emotional attachments that you haven't been able to deal with. And so today I probably use frankincense like 5 or 6 times daily. I mean, we seriously do love frankincense. There's been many studies now that's showing that frankincense is helping with people that are having seizures, adults and children. It also helps with cancer, fighting cancer, you know, warts. I mean, frankincense is one of those in and doubt, you know, go to frankincense. I can never live without frankincense. Frankincense has to be in my home at all times. And guess what? Once again, I'm going to remind you, frankincense is the oil that you can get free until the 15th of this month. They extended it from last month.
That's awesome for a $93 oil.
Yeah, to get for free. And we'll talk more later about that one. So there you go. There's frankincense.
Odor.
It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel sad. It brings back bad memories.
Kind of got a death smell to it, I guess. I'd say a funeral home.
But inside Vanderbilt's emergency room,
people say it smells like dreamsicles. I've heard margarita.
The hospital smell has disappeared.
This diffuser is right now diffusing lime.
Scattered around are several essential oil diffusers, dispensing a therapeutic scent throughout the ER.
It's very pleasant, fresh, clean.
The ER's Wellness Committee decided to test the oils to not only improve the smell, but also the workplace.
We wanted oils that would help decrease stress and increase energy.
The results are dramatic. According to their survey of more than 100 ER staff members, before the oils, 41% of them said they were stressed out at work. After the oils, only 3% were stressed. Prior to aromatherapy, 60% of ER staff members were frustrated at work. After a little oil, 6% felt frustrated.
The results were phenomenal, just the before and after.
At first, there were plenty of skeptics, not believing a drop here and a drop there could really make a difference.
Some people, I included, at first thought it was like voodoo medicine, like it's never going to work.
Now, nurses like Anna Malujic are using them at home.
And it really is amazing.
Vanderbilt's ER may be the only one in the country diffusing essential oils. And supporters say if it's working for staff, it could also help patients.
Not make it as a medical treatment, but a complementary therapy for the patients.
There are many people who will tell you what a hospital is supposed to smell like.
It's not pine sol, but it has a smell.
In Vanderbilt's emergency room, it's wild orange, lime, lemon, and citrus bliss.
I love anything that we do for our staff to make them better, because the better that we make our staff, the better our patients are going to be.
A change that definitely passes the smell test. John Dunn, Fox 17 News.